Hey guys, welcome back to Mums and Melanin. My name's Takoni.
My name's Takumba.
I'm Iola.
And I'm Debbie.
Listen guys, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers.
Come on.
Show us that love. We've got content for days.
Help us.
Give us the energy. Like, listen, we're here to really give you content. So today we're talking about when to introduce your partner, someone you're dating, whatever, to your children. Like, when do we kind of like start thinking about, should they meet my kids? Shall my kids meet them?
So for me, like, I've been there, done that. So I don't know, like I didn't really have any set time. So I think I remember watching the Kardashians recently, and Kim was like, she waited 6 months. Like, she wasn't introducing Pete to the kids until like after 6 months. And I thought, 6 months? Like, what even is that? In 6 months, you can decide that you don't want that person anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what do you know about that person from 6 months? Anyway, going back to me now. Obviously, Kiana has a different father to Isaiah and Amara. So introducing Charles to Kiana was a big thing, right? Because essentially this person is entering our lives. She doesn't know him. It's not her dad. Like, where are we going with this kind of thing? And I needed to be sure that he was going to stick around. Because, like, obviously I dated guys previously and she'd seen them here and there, but there was no real, like, formal introduction. Like, this is going to be the guy that's in your life for some time now. Get to know him.
Question. See, when you said that she's seen them here and there, was it just, oh, this is my friend?
Yeah, it's my friends.
Okay, cool.
Boyfriends, girl. You two, you have mates. Like, there was no real formal, like, do you know what I mean? So this was now like a something. So I remember very vividly, we went to Cookies and Cream in Whitechapel. So we went there, the three of us, and I was like, okay, this is Charles, this is Kiana, and, let's get to know each other. So she was like, 6? Okay. 6 or 7? She was like 6. And like we just chilled. There wasn't really anything to it. I think we had been seeing each other for like maybe like 6-7 months. Okay. So again, like, it was still very early, but at this point, like, okay, we knew that things were going to be happening because I'd already got pregnant. So, I mean, whether or not I wanted to do it, we had to do it. You know what I mean? So, and it was nice. Like, there was no real pressure. Like, we were doing something that she enjoyed. There's ice cream involved. So, it was just more, like, put a face to a name. So, I'd spoken about him previously, just to kind of lead up to the moment. And, Kiana's very relaxed. So, it's just like, okay, like, it is who it is and the kind of thing. But for me, I just feel like that situation is not so intense because it's very fresh in the sense of it's just one person coming into one child's life. Now, moving on to like saying like we've been in the situation and now the parents are separated and there's a new person coming in, like a boyfriend or a girlfriend that's coming into the child's life. For me, that's very different. Do you know what I mean? So
what's the difference?
Let me explain it, because me and Kiana's dad were not together. We had been separated for some time. So it wasn't a case of
she grew up.
She's got mum and dad together, and then there's a new person coming in. Yeah, it's just fresh. Like, it was just me and her, and then Charles came in.
Got it.
Right. So now, like, me, for example, having all the children and having somebody else come in, it's a very different scenario for me, because now I'm gonna tread more lightly. You're not gonna meet my children. That's just the reality of it. Any man I meet now, you're not meeting my children until I know that, okay, I think this guy, we're gonna get married, and that's maybe like he's just proposed to me. Okay. Honestly, that's how I feel, because I can't run the risk of them seeing somebody, getting used to him or having some sort of familiarity with him and it not working out. I've seen what it is for relationships to not work out and for a child to be involved. I don't really want to do that again. Do you know what I mean? I'm just it's enough for me to deal with the heartache, and I don't want my children to go through it as well. So like, let me just know that this is it. Okay, now we can, and that's not to say that they won't ever see him, Because he'll be like mommy's friend, like, okay, we can go out like outside.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be in my household, in our personal space. It's not gonna be like like we're all chilling and it's family time.
Yeah. So you'll still get to see how you relate to your children.
Yeah, most definitely. Because I can't go into marriage and of course I find out you don't actually like kids. No? Yeah. What we're doing here?
So it's like it's mommy's friend that we like. We like. Oh, this is our new.
Mommy's friend. Guess what? Like. You know, mommy's friend, we're gonna get married.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
But it can never just be like, oh, hello.
This is the guy.
And then he's looking at the kids like, when are we putting them in boarding school? No, that's not for me.
How about, how do you feel about kids then calling the new, like, step partner, dad?
Who's dad?
Some kids do it.
Yeah,
it's true.
But they must have met them when they were young,
though. Are the kids that they've been in their life from before they can speak. So that's the only person they know as a father figure.
I've seen it where, okay, what, young as in how old?
Young as in like, maybe like 1-2 years old.
I've seen it from
what?
From a child's like 3-4.
3-year-old is still very young, so you can calling someone dad. That's the only male figure in your life. From 3 years old, that makes sense, right?
But 8, 9, you're a bit older. You know this guy is not your.
Kiana calls Charles Uncle Charles,
because
she can't call him dad. Well, she could if she wanted to, but I wouldn't even feel comfortable with that. So I would never tell her to do that. But she does see him as a father figure, but she's not calling him dad because she has a dad, and he's very much in her life. I could never. No child of mine is calling anybody else mum. I wouldn't call anybody else mum. Like I would say, like I can call my friend's mum or like
but that's more respect.
But it's not. It's like it's more respect. You know what I mean? It's out of love. It's not because.
But the same. But the same could happen even in the house. So as respect. So I think I've seen it in this case where the child has not called the new partner dad until they got married.
What does that mean?
What? The mum made but the mum enforced it, innit?
No, the child decided that, you know, like your mummy's husband, now you're married.
That's sweet.
There must be something.
I can call you dad.
Does the child have a relationship with their dad?
No. So that's why it makes a difference.
That's different. Yeah. If for me, like, no, it just doesn't make any sense to me because in my eyes, you can only ever have one dad. You can have bonus parents, which are like step parents and parents that step up and whatever the situation may be. But you're only ever going to have one mother and one father.
But then what do you call your stepdad? Wouldn't you call your stepdad dad?
But I've seen that.
My friend,
I think, my friend was a bit older. I don't think she was 3 or 4. But I think also, it's just when you see the role they play, do you know what I mean?
This is it.
Like, if they've come in and they've been your dad, like, and when you think back at maybe a teenager, you kind of think, wow, this guy's always been there. Actually, let me start calling him dad. It's possible.
But at the same time, my good friend, so her dad didn't come into her life until she was like in her teens, like late teens. But she's got a stepdad. You know, her stepdad was there from the beginning. When she now met her dad, she calls him dad. She calls him pops.
Yeah, of course. It's her dad, isn't it? Yeah.
And her dad is dad. She's still calling both dads.
But it works the other way around, right?
Manage the two.
I've got a friend that does that. Her stepdad is like her dad.
Yeah.
But her real dad's around, and he's also her dad, isn't it?
All of that is fine. Do you know what I mean? But these are decisions you make when you're old enough to comprehend the situation, right? As a child, I'm only ever going to let you know you have one mum and one dad. It's easy for women to be like, oh yeah, mummy's got a new boyfriend, this is dad now, or whatever, to a child. But actually, let's think about if the roles were reversed. God forbid, no man should ever come and tell my child that you should be calling this woman mum because it's going to be problems. It's a bit mad. Do you get it? Like, it's me that held this child and this woman is like, hi mum, who? Where? No, I'm just not here for it on both sides. Do you know what I mean? But introducing new partners to kids, like, it's something that has to be done, like, because as parents, as humans, you have to live your life. If a relationship doesn't work out, you need to move on and, you know, find your happiness, and if you have children involved, you're going to carry them along on both sides. But it's just a level of respect. So for me personally, my ex would need to meet my current. They need, because the current is going to be around the children. So there needs to be that level of respect between the two of you. And also, just because, like, you should want to anyway. You want to know who's around your child, right? Especially if you have a daughter. Like, you want to know what man is going to be around your daughter. Like, what man is going to be, like, what their morals are, what their values are. Because when you're not around, And if they're living in a house with your ex, they're going to be enforcing their morals and their behaviors onto your child, subconsciously, unconsciously, right?
Yeah.
So you'd want to meet that person. And I'm very much for it. Like Kiana's dad and Charles, should be they have a common interest, me in it. But when they're together, it's good vibes. Like they're cool guys. Whether they bond over the fact that they can't stand me, I don't know what this situation is. I don't know. But,
even at her birthday, the pictures are just so cute. It's lovely.
Like to the fact that I was like, I'll take a picture with that. So I was like, what? No, man, I'm in there as well. Like, and it's nice because
lovely.
he takes Kiana as his daughter, and it is what it is. Like it's happy families. I'm here for the blended family. I'm very much here for it. Love all around. But like I need that to be the norm. I'm not here for the drama. It's just long. Like,
but all parties need to be mature for that.
100%.
Because it's hard.
It's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And also for me, like, don't introduce my child to a woman that you're not serious about. That's just a general thing for me.
I think the difficulty with that though
So
is
what-
that you can't control when a man does that. So you know you have.
I'm sorry, don't bring my child around these funny girls. I'm sorry.
So what would you advise to consider in terms of like when do you say, okay, cool, this needs to be ticked off before you can meet my child, or
you need to see some sort of longevity with this person.
But that's
but some people do that. Yeah.
No, men know if they see this woman seriously. Men know if they just want to have a beat with this team, or they
I
actually
agree
want to
to
have a
some
relationship
degree,
with
but
them.
I also know people who felt they knew every time, and every time
It failed. Right.
Question.
Yeah.
So
Do
my
you mean
question
introduce?
is at point of proposal? Sorry, babe. It's at point of proposal, like what you said for yourself.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
So you date for a while, right? So in dating, you get to know the person, you'll get to know whether or not you can see a future with them. So let's say 6, 7, 8 months go by and you're like, you know what, actually, I think I can see myself being with this person long term. We've passed like half a year now, okay? At that point, I can be open to them being around.
But the thing is,
As a friend or as a partner?
As a friend.
So after 6 months, just for friends.
As a friend, like, as a friend.
Yeah, but
But they have friends anyway.
It's fine. As a friend, you can see this person like go out and do whatever, just so you can gauge whether this person is good around your children, right? Because I can't let you. I'm not mad. I'm not gonna be like, wait until you're ready to propose.
Yeah.
And then this woman is a witch to my children.
So friends can meet and be friends around. But as a partner,
After 6 months, it's not straight away. Don't start looking at a girl and be like, oh yeah, come, let's do outings with my kids, huh? And you've been linking her for 3 months.
But some relationships,
you want to know, nip it in the bud.
right? Yeah,
Because why
true.
would I invest 6, 7 months in someone that by the time they don't meet my kid, it's not quite working out?
And it's just as a friend.
It's just as a friend. It's not necessarily saying this is my girlfriend, but just to see how she interacts with my children.
But
why does that
my
feel
thing
so
is,
similar?
some relationships
Because
go
you don't want to
quickly.
invest your
So
time
then every
into
time you
something.
meet somebody new, you're gonna bring a different girl around my children to be like,
Just as a friend, though.
You don't have many friends now. What is that?
Mama, I met another girlfriend of daddy's.
Not
Like, it's
girlfriend,
long,
friend.
but it's a girlfriend, whatever the situation, however you want to break it down, a female friend. I'm not here for it. Stop bringing these randoms around my children. I'll get very annoyed.
This seems.
But you know what it is? Also, some relationships actually move on quite quickly, and at the same time,
That's why you
it
should
might
not introduce them until you're ready to be
no, but settled as in marriage.
Yes,
It must be.
If you don't want to marry her, then why are you bringing her around my children?
but then-
I'm not going to bring any man around my kids that I don't see a future with, or that I don't know that it's going to go somewhere. It's long.
But
But
not
then
many
people
people
might
have
feel
the
like that.
standards you have.
But some people might feel like that, and
When it comes to
relationships
my
still break
children,
down after 3
we need
years,
to have
2
the same
years.
standards. If your standards are here, my standards are here, I will drag you to my standards. Because what are we doing here? My kids are not going to be blinking and the next woman blink. Like, I'm going to be one of the grade and the next woman.
Okay, so you know some relationships, like Tony saying, progress quickly. Some people already know that they meet you and they're like,
People
you know
are
what?
moving
I
in
wanna
after
marry
2
you. Like,
weeks,
I already
like,
know, I feel it. I want to marry you. It's been 3 months now and they're still like, do you know what? We're doing this ASAP. Would you be okay?
Can we see the word here? There's intention here. So if you
Okay,
if you meet someone, I'm not opposed to meeting someone and knowing that this is the one. If you're telling me, you know what, this is who I want to marry, I will swallow my pride and all right, fine.
Even if it's after 3 months and not 6
But can I
months.
say
You
something?
want to marry? I can
that's
go
fair.
with that.
But can I say
That's fair.
something? Children don't see intention.
Children
So-
see different faces.
Exactly. So the intention might be there, but the relationship still break down after 2 years, 3 years. This child is gonna still
that's
move
fine.
on and see another person.
It's fine, but there's a difference between seeing another person after 2 weeks and seeing another person after 2 years.
I mean,
Do you know what I mean? Even after 2 years,
I feel like after 2 years,
remember.
it makes a bigger
Kids
impact.
so many people.
I feel like children really think about the fact that they see different faces full stop as opposed to the timelines.
This is it. This is it. That's what I'm trying to say. So one of my
age of the child, obviously, if you're talking about a teenager that's like, oh, dad was dating this girl for 2 weeks and then suddenly there's a new one, that's different.
Can I tell
But
you?
my younger kids, I feel like they just know they've been seeing, okay, now it's Auntie Trina, then it's Auntie
Babe,
Kay.
can I tell you? One of my uncles when we were younger, yeah, he carried girlfriend, as in one girl to the next. He'll go away with one, come back with another. There was a time where he came back to the house, yeah. Auntie so and so, let's say Sandra. Auntie Sandra, we're going down the stairs. Hey, Auntie Sandra's back. Oh. No. I'm Sandra. We saw so many women, but I don't remember the time. Like you're saying, I don't remember how long he was dating Auntie Sandra before Auntie Nina.
Say, my uncle used to carry woman. I don't need my son to be like, my dad was a player, you know. My dad had things. I don't want that. It's okay.
Fair enough.
Just carry one person correctly. Let her to have sense. Everybody's happy.
Because you're also setting an example for the children. That's true.
That's it. It's very simple.
She said it's very simple. It's very straightforward.
So on the whole calling mum and dad thing, this is a bit different from any of our circumstances. But if it's a blended family, so the two people in the relationship both have a child externally and they're coming together. How does that? Because obviously one person's calling one mum. Does the other person call the other person auntie and uncle in the same house? How does that work? What would you?
It boils down to comfort. Like in my household, Kiana calls Charles Uncle Charles, and obviously the other two call him Dad.
Yeah.
But the other two can randomly turn around and say Uncle Charles. Just like, do you know what I mean? Like it's a level of comfort. Like if you have that type of relationship that they feel comfortable to call you mum. It may not even be mum in the sense of I know you're my mum, but just mum in the sense of like you treat me like I'm your child, so you're my mum. Like it's whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you build to what you want it to be. So for example, I'm an avid watcher of 90 Day Fiance, and there's a couple. The guy has 2 children and the woman has none. And the woman was like, I would like for you to call me Uma. I think it's Muslim for mum.
Okay.
And the girl was like, doesn't that mean mum? And she was like, yeah, but you know, in my country, it's a term of respect. You know, if someone's elder than you, she's like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Like, I'm not comfortable calling you mum. Fine. But she was like, okay, like, but I'm not comfortable with you calling me by my name.
Yeah.
So you need to find a happy medium.
Yeah.
Because I understand not wanting to call
But
somebody
what could the
mum.
medium be?
Why do they get auntie in then?
Auntie, or
that's what it usually is.
Like just or even ma'am, or do you know, like whatever it is that you're both comfortable with, that you come to it and you deal with it. And as time goes on, it may change or it may not. It's what it is. Do you know what I mean? But you can't enforce something that isn't there. Like I would never force like any child to call me mum. Like it is what it is. I would love you like you're my own. Like call me what you call. It doesn't change how I feel about you, and it doesn't change how you feel about me. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know.
The thing is, children will call you what they want to call you, innit? Like when we were growing up, I had an auntie that her nickname used to be Stat. Yeah, Stat. Yeah, but it's Start. But you know, in Nigerian accent, Stat.
Why do they call her Start? That's a whole other story.
I don't know. I really don't know. But growing up, they tried to encourage me to call her auntie, and I never did. Till this day, I call her Stat.
Wow.
Yeah, no, because it's just her name. That's the name that's
what you heard, yeah.
And
but
she
adults are calling her the nickname.
Yeah, and I am
too. Saying Bossy, and Makai comes into that Bossy.
I guess because it was a nickname, I don't know, like the family didn't bother. Okay, everyone's totally fine.
She's fine with it.
Till now, like that's what I call her. It's interesting. It's like no one. They tried to change it, but I guess it stuck.
Yeah.
But I think if they had an issue, they would have continued to change it.
Of course.
So I suppose it was
and I would have had to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I suppose it was okay. But I do think it can be difficult. Sometimes where like, I don't know, if your child's quite young, because I agree, actually really agree with what you said. Like hearing it from someone who's who can relate to it a bit more, it's important. Yeah. Because obviously when you're not in that predicament, you can have your own views on the rest of it. But I really agree with you. But I do feel like some parents, particularly more cultural people, should I say, when they have their children are quite young, they just want the next relationship to be the happy family. Yeah. So they automatically say, this is your mum, this is your dad. And even if you still call your dad, you still call this man dad. Or even if you call, do you know what I mean? They just try and make that
like forcing the
and though I can
bond
understand
and the
in some
connection.
ways why they're trying to do it, it's never going to achieve
No.
what they're trying to achieve because you're forcing it, isn't it?
And it's just awkward, and I just don't like awkwardness. I really don't.
I guess the name doesn't really matter. It's the relationship, the bond, the respect.
It happened to like a family of mine, and they always resented calling their uncle dad. They always resented it. It's like they would even hate when he's around. So it's like they have to call him dad. He wasn't their dad. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And they were relatively young. I'd like to say that my cousin at the time couldn't have been more than, she was like 6, 5. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it's not your dad. Do you know what I mean?
But that's just image. I think you're right. It's just the parents just trying to
exactly.
I don't know, like.
And maybe because you fear that kind of your child not getting along with the parent or the uncle. So if they're your dad, you kind of get over them telling you off quicker than if it's uncle. Yeah. You know, you can hold a bit more of a offense if uncle offended you more so than if dad offended you. Just if dad offended you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You got in trouble, you get over it.
Question,
maybe that's why, I don't know.
Did he stay dad? Did he stay around? Was he?
No.
See? Imagine dad disappears again. What's that about? No, man.
How long were they together?
Even I was young, so I can't even remember. But it wasn't like a quick 3-month thing. It was a long-term thing. But yeah, I just think that's why I understand what you're saying, and that's why I do think it should be more child-led in terms of the title they want to give. Or you reach a medium, like you were saying about the whole culture thing, like a medium ground where there's a terminology that's not quite mum or dad, but it's something that everyone can work with.
Because even my stepdad, I called him Kenneth because my mum called him Kenneth. And then one time she sat me down and she's like, listen, listen, mate. Uncle Kenneth or Dad, what do you want? I said Uncle Kenneth. So from now on, it's Uncle Kenneth. That's his name. Do you know what I mean? So,
But did you choose Uncle Kenneth because you have a dad and you're not actually calling this man dad?
Exactly that.
See, this is it now. There's so much importance in the titles of mum and dad.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just me. Like, there's certain things that I just hold very dearly. Like, there's certain titles that you can't just bestow upon anybody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm not. It's not possible.
And I
especially
think
when your kids, sorry guys, what about, this is random though, my mind just went there. What about children who the partner comes into their life when they're so young, so they've been calling them dad anyways? Do you stop them when they're old enough? So basically when they start speaking, they already start saying dad because they've grown up.
No,
when
that's
they're
fine.
But then you now have to go and tell them they're not the dad.
It depends. Like, you can explain to them when they get older that, you know what, this is not your real dad. Like, it doesn't change anything because they still have that relationship.
That's a lot, though.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Why?
Why
is it a lot?
I don't know.
You have to know that.
I feel like from very early, I wouldn't wait till they're older.
When they just speak, wouldn't you just say this is uncle rather than down the dad thing?
No,
do you know what I mean? Because having a conversation to reverse it.
Why would you
not to reverse it, just to enlighten them. So they realise that, okay, he's your father figure, he's your dad, as you want to call him, but he's not actually your biological dad.
So basically, when he starts calling dad from the beginning, from early, you just let them do it until they're old enough to have that conversation.
Let them be old enough to understand that, you know, this is not your real dad. He's still your dad. Nothing changes. He's still your dad. But biologically, he's not the man that.
No, I don't. Yeah, I feel like I would rather talk about the child's real dad from early. So look, this is a picture of your dad. I'm not trying, it doesn't matter, even if he's not in a picture. Like me, I don't have my dad in my picture. I mean, in the picture, he wasn't there. But my mum always showed me, this is your dad. You know, I had a father figure that I called daddy. But look, I always knew, like, I had because it was spoken about. It's not you're waiting till I'm older to now say, oh, this is not your biological dad. Show me pictures. You have to talk about the real dad. Oh, you know, even if the dad may not even be alive or around in another country, just having those conversations early. I don't like those surprises because I feel like I wouldn't react very well as a child.
Because a man that was beating me up and down, I'm not coming to show this child, this is your real dad. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do it. But if the father, because
that child's entitled to that information, man. It doesn't matter how they treated you.
And I'm not saying that the conversation will never happen. I will say that this is not your real father. The situation with your real dad doesn't work out. This is when they're old enough, because
so you're saying don't tell them?
Yeah, till they're old enough.
Say dad until they're old enough to have a conversation.
How old is older though? What's older?
How old is Sienna? 8? Maybe like
that's a bit of a betrayal, you know. But it's like when people find out they're adopted older. To me, I think it's better. Just know from jump. Some things you just know as a child, and you've always known when they've always known.
From the beginning.
It's normal.
Give me a name.
Cause like you start telling them from when they're like 3.
Even before that.
That you
look
know.
at daddy's picture. This is your dad. Just
we
know.
chose you.
Even if it's
do you know what I mean?
picture.
We love you. But like but you're even more special because actually there's another family that you just anything.
You know what?
You make it a nice
like,
wrapped up story.
No,
but they always know.
I don't even like those wrapped up stories.
Yeah, because even that has its difficulties.
I
get why you're saying that.
I prefer. This is a picture. Oh, your dad used to do that. Like, have conversations just from early,
but if
so you know that
you don't have that one.
Yeah, it's a different. I think
if they were adopted, it's a bit mad.
It's difficult.
Let's go back to the issue.
You took it to a deep level. We're not there yet.
But I think the younger you are, kids are resilient. You just all know you've always known, and that's it. You just listen to words. Yeah, it's just
you're not changing my norm.
Yeah.
Because depending on child, you might find that 2 kids, one kid is like fine with this conversation at 8, and another child is just rocked. Like,
literally.
What do you mean? Like
what is that?
Do you know what I mean?
You've been lying to me all these years.
If I think about myself,
from the beginning, it's a knowledge of yours. Whether you understand it completely or not, you just you know that there's these people.
That's it.
I don't.
And with time, it may make sense.
I don't know. I don't know how to. I can't. Yeah, my brain can't. I don't really know how to deal with a situation like that.
Yeah.
So I'm only saying what I think I would do, but actually, I don't.
Exactly.
I think everyone, you have to be in a predicament
to really know. Yeah. And I think even going back to like my mum showing me pictures of my dad and talking about him, it was only when I got older that it's now, this is what kind of happened in the relationship. This is what broke it. This is the reason why. So if it was abuse and stuff like that, that's when the child is.
You inquiring, or whether she just realised, okay, you're of age now.
Obviously, I maybe ask questions, innit? Like, why? Like, where is he? Why is he not here? You know, like things like that would have started those type of conversations. So I guess it's having the right conversation at the right age, but at the same time, just letting the child know from early.
I really commend parents who have these, because these conversations can't be easy.
Yeah. They're not.
Sitting your child down, your child is asking you questions. They're not. They don't know the background.
My mum is irritated. She's irritated.
Parents, sometimes we really just have to do what we're doing for our kid. And inside, you're just like,
rolling
your eyes like,
why?
Yeah, but I really commend every mother, every father that actually sits down and does what's best for your child and has that conversation. They're saying, where's my dad or where's my mummy? You're saying, your mummy is so and so. Knowing the truth inside, like, it's a big job being a parent, and I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, there's this conversation that will never be easy. Like, there's no easy way of doing it.
And what you don't want is your child to resent you later on in life because you didn't say, or because you didn't tell the truth, or you know what I mean. Like my mum being honest with me, I commend her. You know, I respect her for that, and even telling me the difficulties. She could have just made up a story. Like, it doesn't matter till now.
I know, I
feel like as a parent, you're always gonna move with your child's best interest at heart. So you never want to do anything that's gonna like harm them or. Yeah,
but some parents don't know that they're doing it. You don't know the impact. It wouldn't be seen at exactly.
But even then, your intention is to protect. So even in trying to protect you, sometimes you're gonna have to hurt your child. That's the reality. There's certain things that you do.
Some hard truths, you mean?
Yeah, like there's certain things that you do. Because you know that the intention is to protect, but along the way, there's going to be collateral damage. Like, so your child may be hurt, but you know that overall is that it's to protect them, right? I don't know if I'm putting it up.
Yeah, you got an example. I kind of get it.
Case by case. Yeah. Because you're right, but nothing can be blanket. Do you know what I mean? It depends on the level of damage. Like, depends on the child. Depends on how they process. You know, all them kind of things. So I think it's case by case.
Very extreme. Like your dad is a serial murderer.
Ooh.
And so like they're asking about this person, but actually you don't want to you don't want to tell them who they are because it could cause more damage than good. So in protecting them, you're giving them the information that they require, which is hurting them because they feel like, okay, well, what the hell is this? But actually, in the grand scheme of things, you're protecting them from the wider knowledge of what the reality is.
I think it depends on age,
But it's what I'm saying. As they get older, like you can't stop them from doing what they want to do. As they're younger, and when they're more so inquisitive, because as they grow older, they may just be like, all right, cool, whatever, and whatever story you tell them, they'll carry. Unless they really, really have it in them to go and find who this person is.
But I don't know if, like, me being me, I don't know if I like outright lie. I'll give you bits of information. Do you know what I mean? What's
dependent on age and
truth.
Yes, I'll just go off.
So that if they come back to you with anything, you haven't outwardly lied to them.
You just left some of it.
I feel like if the dad was like a serial murderer or something like that, I think later on in life, if the child then found out, even if you didn't tell them, they will understand because it's something that's just a bit, it's mad. You understand?
It's a lot to tell.
But if it's just because, I just didn't like him, I mean,
if it's personal reasons, then
that's all not. Okay, very off topic, I know. But what are our thoughts on parents stopping the other parents from seeing their child. So like, you've broken up now, we're not together, and because we're not together, maybe you've cheated on me, you can't see the kids.
It's not good.
That's not valid.
It's not good. It's not a good reason.
It's difficult, and it's obviously easy to say it's not good. It's not good when you're not in a predicament.
100%.
But I do think like the child and the father have a right to have a relationship. Do you know what I mean? Directly.
Definitely.
And there's ways to go through. There's ways to go through the court.
But in doing it, you're trying to get back at them. So they've hurt you. You want to hurt them.
Exactly.
The only way you can overly directly hurt them is withhold.
But you're hurting the child.
You're hurting your child.
Of course you are. Everybody knows it as well. We say everybody knows it. There's people that know it and don't care.
Yeah.
But people do it. People do it. Like, and it's actually quite sad.
I think there'll always be like what the right and the wrong, quote unquote. So like it'll be good for the child to have a relationship with their father and whatever. But at the same time, it depends on the damage that's done. Let's be honest, like, as people, there's always a statement of this is the right thing to do, but then you can't really tell somebody this is it or that is it, because it just depends on how broken you are, whether you can mentally deal with that reality and still look after the children. If it's gonna really mentally rock you, you're in care of these kids. It's all questionable. Do you know
But what
I mean?
I would say is that a lot of people complain, oh, my BM won't let me see the kids, this, that.
Yeah,
take it to the courts.
This is what I'm trying to say. There's other ways.
Take it to the courts. Let's get things done properly.
Right.
You get a written agreement. It is what it is now. The child doesn't come to you this day. It's now kidnapping. It's a long process. Let's get it started now, rather than still complaining 3 years later.
It's true.
Because if the person's doing it now, they'll continue to do it.
Of course.
Something goes wrong,
Think
they'll
of
do it
it.
again. They'll do it again.
True.
So let's just start now. It's a bit long, but
Let's
sort it out from the beginning, because you've got 18 years or how many years.
It's a
So
lot.
I think the sooner you sort things out, the better it is, and then there's no problems.
Let's say, of all the people that be having these issues, how many of them are really taking it to court?
No, I'm saying they
Many
should.
people don't.
My advice is, baby daddy not paying, put him on child support. No, I'm honestly.
there's a solution.
We've got
There's ways around
solutions.
it.
Why do we have to always? Not always. Why do we have to be doing things like? No, just. Do you understand? Let's just do it the right way. There's a reason why the system's in place. It's not perfect, but if it's not working your way, let's try it this way. Why not? Like, we're complaining, no, there's no money. No, he has money. Go and get it.
He has money. Go and get it.
Go and get it.
Collect your money.
Do you know,
Get your money, baby.
Get your money up.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's for the child. The only person suffering is the children. So let's, do you know what I mean? You want to see your kids, let's start the process. I don't know how much it costs and stuff, but if you can afford it, let's at least get the ball rolling.
So what's our takeaway from this?
Yeah, we talk about so much, isn't it?
There's a lot of takeaways.
Take it within your stride. Like, introducing your kids to the new partners when everyone feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Let all parties be in agreement before you move forward. That's
true.
That's our takeaway, I feel like.
Yeah,
That's true.
100%. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.